I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Storm Trackers. We are now going more into storm coverage here as we have a brand new tornado warning that was just issued. This is on the south side of our viewing area. That includes parts of Upson County. Nicole Hartford is driving radar right now. We're going to zoom in tighter to the storm right here that is in Upson County, where we have that that tornado warning that is in effect for Upson County until 6 o'clock tonight, I believe. This is the storm that we're watching right now. Now, Upson is really on the southern tip of Upson County, so we're going to let you know about this right now and then talk about the additional storms that we have. But this is where we're watching right now, coming out of Taylor County and also Upson County. We have some rotation there, and this would move into the southern parts of Upson County. Thomaston is right up here, so this is really south of Thomaston. So this is on the very southern fringes of our viewing area, where we have this tornado warning that's in effect. Let's go to velocity mode right now and we can see what we're watching here. It's this part of the rotation right here coming out of Talbotton and Junction City, where we have this right here near Junction City, where we have that higher reflectivity that we're watching right now with that potential rotation. And again, this would potentially move into the far southern parts of Upson County. Upson County right up here is why we have this tornado warning that is in effect. And let's see, does it expire at 6 o'clock, Nicole? Nicole's going to put the warning information on there right now, and it's going to be in effect 6:15. 6:15. All right. So Nicole, you just heard her voice there. This is going to be in effect until 6:15 tonight, with this potential rotation there at the southern end of Upson County. Now I'm going to widen out. I'm going to go back to controlling this now because I want to show you what else we have that's going to be impacting us here in our area. With this line of storms coming in, we mentioned earlier where we have that severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of Douglas County, also into Fulton County. That's that northern part of this line. This also is part of that line that prompted a tornado warning earlier back into Alabama. We now have a new severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect there on the south side. Let's concentrate on this one first. For Carroll County, Coweta County, Douglas County, and South Fulton County, that's going to be in effect until 5:45, just for about another 15 minutes or so, as that's moving quickly over to the east. Here we are in Atlanta. I just want folks in the Atlanta area to be aware these are strong storms here coming out of that area of Carroll County into Douglas County and also into South Fulton. That's going to be in effect until 5:45. A new warning was issued here, severe thunderstorm warning. That's right over the Newnan area, where we have this severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Coweta County and also Fayette County. This is the southern part of that line right here that's moving very quickly over toward the east. Now, you can see that line of storms, very heavy rain with that. I'm going to put the velocity data on here, and what I want you to see, even though we don't see any rotation with that south and west of the Atlanta area, this is a very sharp contrast in the winds there, with very strong winds along that line. We're talking about 50 to 60 plus mile-an-hour winds along that line. That goes down toward the Newnan area. We're going to keep an eye on this part right here near Newnan, where Nicole, it would be interesting to see if we have any rotation potentially developing with that. That's just a signature that we're keeping a close eye on right here in the Coweta County area. The National Weather Service, when they issued that warning for Coweta County, they tagged it with tornado possible. So a lot to watch here with this line as it continues moving on through our area. We're going to go back to radar in just a second, but I wanted to widen out. We'll go back to that warning in Thomaston and Upson County in just a couple of minutes here, but I wanted to widen out so you can see here we are in Atlanta. We're tracking those storms on the west side that we just showed you, Douglas County moving into South Fulton, and then also Coweta County and Fayette County, that part of the storm. The Coweta, or actually the Thomaston storm, Upson County storm, is way down here to the south, just really north of Macon and just to the west of the Macon area. That's what has prompted this tornado warning that's in effect for the southern parts of Upson County. I wanted to take you to this live radar, though, because actually there's a tower cam in Coweta County where we have really seen seeing the visibility reduced there in Coweta County with the very heavy rain that continues to move through right now. That part of Coweta County, heavy rain coming through, and that's where we have this new severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect now for Coweta County, continuing to move on through. Nicole's going to take us back down toward Thomaston right now in Upson County just to get another check of this tornado warning that's in effect there. Again, we're talking about the very southern fringes of our viewing area. If you'll look here, just to give you perspective what we're watching, Talbotton is here, Junction City. We're talking about Talbot County, Taylor County, and then the far southern parts of Upson County right here. That's the only part there in our viewing area that is included in a tornado warning right now. Let's check out the velocity couplet with this. We've been watching this. All right, that does look really impressive still there near Junction City, where we have that rotation that we're seeing there. Highway 80, if you guys have traveled from Macon over toward the Columbus area, this is Highway 80 that we're seeing right here. So that's just to the south of Highway 80. There it is. You see it, just that new scan that just came in right there. That rotation still looking impressive. Again, this is pushing in to the far southern parts of Upson County. This is just to the west of the Macon area. This is going to be in effect until 6:15. Again, for Taylor County, Talbot County, and then Upson County is the county that we are responsible for, showing us that rotation that we have moving through there. Here's Roberta. We have Reynolds right here. There's Butler, Georgia. That's into parts of Taylor County there. So this is going to be just north of Butler. Again, those southern fringes of what we're watching right now in Upson County. Is that that looks pretty impressive. Nicole Hartford's here with me now, right now as well. She's going to show us what we have going on with actually, if you could put up the correlation coefficient there, the debris finder. Yeah, I see that popping up here. Now, what we watch here, I know this is kind of, it looks like a jumble of stuff here, but what we watch is in some of these couplets that we see is whether or not, again, National Weather Service is saying this is a Doppler radar indicated tornado. No confirmation of that. We'll keep watching our debris finder to see if we have any potential debris that can be lofted into the atmosphere that often we see get picked up by our National Weather Service radar. Also, Nicole, I don't know if you have the shear available that we could show really quickly as well. Sometimes we have that. That'll show up here. That shows, okay, there you see it right there, that blue that you see. That's indicating, again, that potential rotation that we have within that storm. And again, we're talking about the far southern parts of Upson County with this storm that continues to move up toward the north and to the east. And I also want to take you into this right here. I'm going to go backwards again here so we can see what we're watching down south of Atlanta.
There is also a new severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued for Coweta, Douglas, and Fulton County until 5:45. So that would be this new severe thunderstorm warning. Okay,
so they've changed that one a little bit, changed the perspective of it a little bit. It now is moving more northward up toward I-20 there in Douglas County. Speaking of that, if we have Thunder Truck available, I'd like to go to Thunder Truck right now, because when we went to Thunder Truck a little bit earlier, he was moving just past Six Flags. Now we're seeing Thunder Truck that most likely is getting into Douglas County, and you can, I think I just saw some lightning flashes there from the sky as we're moving westward. Cody is our photographer driving Thunder Truck right now, where you can see, of course, the brake lights, the rain very heavy there on the road. This is out I-20 west toward Douglas County, where we have these strong storms that continue to move through right now through Douglas County, also into South Fulton County. You can see all the brake lights, the lights coming toward you as well on the other side of the road, where people are really slowing down. And again, windshield wipers on high speed right there, with that area of rain that continues to move on through. Let's go back to radar, and I can show you, this is the perspective, what we're watching. This is west of Atlanta, out I-20. Thunder Truck was in this area right here that is about to get into some of this really heavy rain in Douglas County. That's going to keep moving into South Fulton. That's where we have that updated severe thunderstorm warning, including Douglas County. Far eastern parts of Carroll County, also into the South Fulton County there. Approaching Union City is where we have this heaviest rain. And then we also are watching this down into Coweta County, also moving into Fayette County. That part of the storm system has some really heavy rain with it as well, and that's going to keep moving on over to the east where we have the winds that are potentially at about 60 miles an hour. I'm going to go back here because I'm going to show you the velocity mode. You're going to see me kind of going backwards here on these maps, if it'll let me do that.
Here, I'll get you
Okay, yeah, I wanted to show that velocity mode there around Newnan. And actually what we see right there too, okay? So here we are around Newnan, where again, we have to watch this part very closely. This is a sharp contrast in the winds now pushing through Newnan. Our National Weather Service office also said we had some very strong winds in association with that. You see in one direction, the wind's moving 59 miles an hour. We've got the potential for some shear with that as well. So that's why we have that severe thunderstorm warning in effect. And what we're going to have to watch right here, we're seeing this kind of, it's not really a hook developing right now, but it's just also not a straight line, like straight line winds too. So we're going to keep an eye on this. When the National Weather Service issued the severe thunderstorm warning, they tagged it with tornado possible. And that's what we want to watch with that, just to see. And I know folks in Newnan are definitely getting, fear. They get afraid when we see stuff like this because of what we experienced last year here with those storms that came through with the EF4. We don't think this is anything like that, but just some strong storms, strong winds with that as well. But we'll watch to see if any rotation develops with that. While we're here, yeah, Nicole, go up to the north side. This one is more of a straighter wind shift line that we see, but it is a drastic shift in those winds. So that's from Douglasville stretching down towards South Fulton into Chattahoochee Hills. You've got the red is the winds going in one direction, the green is going in another direction, and we're seeing that kind of converging right there with those very strong winds that continue to move on through. Atlanta, okay, looks like we just have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that just showed up right there on the west side of Atlanta. That does include the city of Atlanta right now. This just showing up now on our screen as we've been talking about this, where that very heavy rain coming out of Douglasville is going to keep moving over toward the east, is pushing toward Fairburn, and it's about to close in on the city of Atlanta with that very heavy rain coming through. If we could look at remote 32, I believe is our airport cam. I'm just curious to see what that looks like right now with our airport camera here on the south side. Okay, it's really hard to see there because the heavy rain that's coming in right now on the south side of the city. You can see the raindrops that are kind of diffusing that light just a little bit, but visibility greatly reduced there in the Atlanta area. Now let's go back to remote 58 if we could. That's the Coweta County tower cam that we have as well. That is going to show us the courthouse there. Actually, that's looking a little bit better. We have that heavy rain that moved through Coweta County and Newnan just a few minutes ago. Still dark clouds and of course very heavy rain pushing through there too. Let's go back to radar and we'll get Nicole to take us back down toward Thomaston. I want to get another look at that tornado warning that is in effect for the Thomaston area. And again, actually, Thomaston's not even included in this. It is south of Thomaston in the southern parts of Upson County. So this part of the storm right here, or that far southern part of the county in Upson County is the only part that is included in this tornado warning that we're seeing in the southern Upson County. The strongest of the storm right now is down into Taylor County, moved through Talbot County just a little bit earlier too. Let's check out velocity there real quick if we could, Nicole. Yeah, that is the center of the circulation just to the north and west of Butler. What we're seeing right here, again, south of Highway 80. This is just to the west of Roberta, that's in Crawford County. Here's Highway 19 right here. So that's where we're seeing that rotation. We're just kind of touching back and forth on this because really the storms that are coming in closer to the Atlanta area are going to have more of an impact on more people than what we're seeing with this rotation that's down the south side. We're going to keep checking back on this though in Upson County. This rotation that you're seeing is actually just outside of Upson County, just to the south of that. But the National Weather Service is including Upson County in this advisory, or in this tornado warning, just because it is so close there to that county line. So far, Nicole, is that what you're seeing too? That rotation pretty much staying
Yeah,
just south of the Upson County line?
it might just barely come into the tip of Upson County, but it looks like it's going to stay pretty much south of Upson County.
All right, so that rotation would go toward Fickling Mill and then over toward Roberta. You've got Lozella. Macon is way over here, so this is to the west of Macon. So again, the reason we're not spending all of our time on this tornado warning in Upson County is because actually the warning is, or the rotation that we're seeing is actually just outside of our viewing area in Taylor County, also into Talbot County. Upson County does belong to the Atlanta viewing area, but again, it's that southern part of Upson, and this rotation may stay just to the south of Upson County. And you saw some of the timeline there as the storm is moving over to the north and east, about 40 to 45 miles an hour. Some of those cities that would be impacted by that rotation as it moves through. And again, this warning expires at 6:15, and we see here the rotation, that center of the circulation, is getting closer to the end of this polygon. So we'll wait and see if they issue another warning here to the east of that from the National Weather Service in just a little bit. Back now, I want to go back up to the north side. Actually, if you can widen out a little bit here, Nicole, and go back to reflectivity. I just would like, since we've been zooming in so close, I want to give everybody a perspective of the areas that we're talking about with these storms moving through. Here's Atlanta, North Georgia. You've had a good coverage of rain here for a big part of the afternoon, but it looks like the atmosphere there has stabilized a little bit. We haven't seen things as active in far north Georgia as they were earlier coming in through northwest Georgia. So a lot of rain, some thunder and lightning, gusty winds, but we haven't seen anything severe on the north side lately. The severe weather, we'll get in a little bit tighter on that part right here, has been this from Douglas County there at I-20, moving down into South Fulton County. That's where we have one severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect. And then that extends down into Coweta County and Fayette County, another severe thunderstorm warning. That's where we have the bands of very heavy rain, also the strong winds with that too. And we're keeping an eye on some areas with that could see some rotation developing with it. Again, the National Weather Service, when they issued the warning for Coweta and Fayette, they tagged it with tornado possible. And then I want to take you down to, again, so these are the main areas that we're watching there in Douglas, South Fulton County, Coweta, and Fayette County. That's about to move into the Atlanta area right now. Let's take a look at remote 56. That'll be our tower cam here in Atlanta, in Midtown, looking down on the downtown area. And our directors will pop that up for you too. And you can see these areas of rain that we're watching. Again, this is from Midtown, looking down toward downtown. Visibility, again, pretty reduced. The sun is going down, so we're seeing, of course, the skies are darkening up there too. But we'll be watching any changes with that. We might see some lightning flashes with that as well as we continue through the next little while. So here again is a look at what we're watching. I want to take you back here to that severe thunderstorm warning that is going to expire at 6 o'clock for areas on the south side. New warning, though, just issued for central Fulton County, southern parts of Fulton County, Douglas County, southern parts of Cobb County, with this line of showers and storms that are rolling through, and then this one there for Coweta County too. Nicole's going to take us back to Coweta County, put us in velocity mode. I just really want to keep an eye on that area. That's looking interesting here. And again, Nicole, are you seeing anything from National Weather Service chat? Any indications on this? I don't see this being a tight enough little signature for a tornado warning to be issued, but it's just interesting to watch this right here if we see any potential rotation developing.
No, so far the National Weather Service has not flagged that as a potential area that would have a tornado formation. In that severe thunderstorm warning, it did have the tornado possible tag, so seeing some isolated rotation certainly can't be ruled out along this storm, but so far the National Weather Service has not indicated any specific area where rotation has been developing.
All right, so I just got some water. You maybe heard me swallow my water right there while Nicole was talking. Sorry about that, but this is what we're watching very closely here with, again, if any rotation develops there, we'll keep an eye on that. So next in line for this part would be over into areas near Lovejoy, the southern parts of Henry County. We'll also watch Spalding County with this too, and there in Fayette County as well, as this is crossing over from Coweta County over to the east there. Moving, and again, that speed is probably about 45 miles an hour. I think 40 to 45 miles an hour is what the National Weather Service was telling us a little bit earlier. Moving up toward the north and east. So that would take it into Peachtree City at 5:51. Right now we're at 5:47. So it would be just the next few minutes into Peachtree City. Fayetteville at 6:03. Hampton, if it made it over into Henry County. And again, we do think we're going to have some heavy rain and wind into Hampton and Henry County at 6:13. And then Magnet at 6:37. If that holds together, it would push over into Rockdale County near Conyers. We're thinking around 6:41 this evening. So that is a rundown of what we're watching with these storms that are closing in on the city of Atlanta right now with that very heavy rain, thunder and lightning. This is, of course, the city of Atlanta. You can see how that storm moving through the area now. That would push into Mableton just in the next few minutes at 5:52. Red Oak at 5:58. It would be over the city of Atlanta, most likely around 6:08 tonight here over the city. So that is what we are watching with these strong storms that continue to move through the area. Let's go back down to Thomaston right now, or south of Thomaston, because if this storm, even though this warning for Upson County, it was just canceled.
Just
okay.
canceled.
That is what I was hoping that we would see there, that the warning was canceled for Upson County there, south of Thomaston.
Yeah, the velocity on that has completely fallen apart.
Yes, so that is good news. So we're going to take you back to the rest of our newscast right now. Please know that Nicole and I are watching these. That tornado warning for Upson County has been canceled, but we are still here. Even though we're going to more news, Nicole and I are still here tracking these storms very closely here with very heavy rain, strong winds in association with that. Let's go to one more time, if we can, to Thunder Truck, because I wanted to get a good close look at this right now, as Thunder Truck is most likely into the heaviest part of that rain that is over near Douglas County. That actually doesn't look that bad here on the west side, where we have that heavy rain through Douglas County. He's getting closer to that heaviest part. There's looks like a bus on the side of the road, or a truck there on the side of the road, 18-wheeler. But more of that rain moving toward the Atlanta area, pushing in very quickly. Stay with us. More on the weather coming up in just a few minutes.
Chris, thank you so much. And don't forget, as we continue to monitor and track this system, you can always stay up to date with the very latest information with our 11 Alive News app. It's available for free to download right now wherever you get your apps from.
Developing